Good morning. It's morning for me anyway, so whenever you're watching this, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, you guys. I woke up this morning and realized I had not filmed any tarot videos for you guys for like 2 weeks. So here I am this morning, PJs, coffee cup, my cute little, I don't know if you can see it that well, but my cute little sloth coffee cup to film a tarot video for you guys because it had just been 2 weeks is too long. So it's a beautiful day, even though it's slightly overcast this morning. But I kind of like days like that. I like when it's, a little bit more overcast outside because I am so white. The sun hates me. I go outside for like 10 minutes and I get a sunburn, so hope you're having a good Friday, having a good weekend, start to your weekend. I'm going to be doing some garden work this weekend since we're at the very beginning of like gardening season. So excited about that. It is beautiful. Everything's starting to come to life outside. I feel like with the start of Aries season, I'm starting to come to life a little bit, so super, super lovely outside. So, all right, let's go ahead and get into it. So, first off, we have the Queen of Wands. So, yes, feeling confident, inspired. The Queen of Wands is someone who never settles for less than what they're worth. So, I definitely feel like that's a lot of the energy with the start of Aries season coming in, Wands cards are associated with fire signs, so a lot of us are, finding our passions, reigniting them. With the sun having just moved into Aries, I think it was for the last 2 weeks we hadn't had any planets in fire signs. So if you had been feeling unmotivated or just kind of a bit more sluggish and uninspired, that's a good reason, or that's a good explanation as to why. Just, fire signs, having planets in fire signs, especially the sun in a fire sign right now, really just kind of gets those creative juices flowing for all of us. So, Queen of Wands, inspired, confident, self-assured. If you take a look at her card, she's holding that beautiful sunflower. It's supposed to represent how she shines with this inner light and this inner light within her. Now with the tarot cards, tarot is not attached to any specific gender. So if you are, it's not attached with any specific gender. So just because it's the Queen of Wands doesn't mean that it's not necessarily a card for you men out there as well. Next card, we have the Ten of Swords in reverse. Yes, so moving forward. Something is dead, done, over with our life, and we are starting to move forward a little bit. Ten of Swords is usually this, like, heavy energy of something being done and we're disappointed. But I feel like it's almost like we are, with the swords, with this card being in reverse, it's like the swords are starting to slide out of this person's back, is how I feel, We're starting to remove the swords from our own being. We're starting to, heal and move forward from the things that hurt us in the past. And then we have the King of Pentacles. So King of Pentacles is all about personal abundance and wealth. King of Pentacles is a very wealthy individual. They are literally cloaked in the card. They are cloaked and bathed and full of all of these riches and just abundance. The cloak that this person is wearing is covered in grapevines, which is supposed to represent a fruitful harvest. So we're starting to reap the harvest and starting to really hold on to, those energies of abundance within ourselves. And not just necessarily in our personal finances, Personal finances, you know, can be represented by the Pentacles, but abundance isn't just tied to your finances. Abundance is your general overall energy. You can feel abundant in your relationships. You can feel abundant in love, abundant in happiness, you know, abundant in knowledge even. So King of Pentacles, we're just really bathing in this beautiful energy right now. Let's see what else we got. We got the Nine of Wands. So Nine of Wands, we are getting to the end of this very difficult time. The progression of the Wands cards is like a battle almost when you take a look at it. So the Nine of Wands is supposed to signify that we're still kind of in the trenches a little bit, but we're getting to the tail end of that energy. There's still a little bit of fighting left to go. So I see that we're moving towards this energy of completion within ourselves, and completion within a situation. Some of you, that might be a work situation, a relationship. It could be anything really, whatever you're going through. But we're at the tail end of this completion. So I feel like that Nine of Wands is here to remind you guys to keep pushing forward. Things will be turning around and getting better much sooner than you realize. You just have to stick it out and keep fighting for what you believe in. Keep fighting for the things that you value. And then we have the Seven of Cups. So the Seven of Cups is about like being spoiled for choice, having a lot of options available to you. It can even sometimes represent confusion with having so many options here. So some of you might have so much going on, you know, you're getting ready to come to the tail end of whatever this thing here that is happening. And you might be confused as to where to go next. You know, sometimes when we're stuck in an energy for so long, it can be hard to know what to do next. If we've identified ourselves with this energy, this place, this job, this person, if we've identified ourselves in this, you know, little box for so long, when we start to get to the point we realize we have outgrown our box, it's really hard to figure out, like, what do I do next? It's like this feeling of being reborn again, you know, of having to rediscover who you are, and where you essentially want to go. So I feel like the Seven of Cups is a lot of you guys dealing with this confusion of where do I go? What do I do with myself from here? Queen of Wands with the King of Pentacles from those earlier cards. I mean, you guys are in a really good position right now to be starting to move forward in this place. So I feel like no matter what you choose at this point, as long as you're making choices that are true to your inner self, true to your inner person, your heart, you cannot be going wrong. So let's see what else. Then we have the Knight of Swords in reverse. All right, so the Knight of Swords is in reverse here. So some of you might feel as though a situation is not moving forward as fast as you would like it to. The Knight of Swords is fast energy, but it's almost frantic when you look at it in the upright. You know, if you look at that horse that the knight is on there, the horse looks very, like, stressed out, like they're charging in head first as fast as they can go. So for some of you, things could not be going as fast as you would like them to, although I do feel as though there's this second energy here of cautioning you to not jump into something so fast. Don't feel as though you have to make a decision and jump forward into something right away. You know, I feel like the Knight of Swords is here to remind you to, you know, take your time to make these decisions, especially with that Seven of Cups cards from before. If you guys have a lot of decisions to make right now, a lot of things available to you that you have to figure out and sort through, I feel as though the Knight of Swords is to remind you to not, you know, make hasty decisions out of a place of, out of a place of desperation almost. Let's see what else we got. We also have the Two of Cups. So there's definitely some beautiful union taking place here. For some of you, this could be union like with a new relationship, if that's what you're looking for. I don't really view the Two of Cups as a very, good relationship card if you're looking for relationships. More often than not, I don't necessarily view it as a relationship card. I feel it's more of a card of union. Union with your higher self, potentially. Could be union with a individual to start working on a new project. And it doesn't even have to be union with another individual. It could be just divine balance. Like you're vibing really good on this like good level. It's this like dual energy of syncing up, So some of you might feel very in sync with things right now. You might feel very inspired and flowing very freely. You find that your creative energy is a bit more available to you right now. And it is something that's divinely guided. It's something that's divinely led, that you're being divinely led by. I would say try not to resist the flow a little bit. Really go with your gut, follow your intuition here with this one. And if something feels good and vibes with you, I would go ahead and follow that. Sometimes we get these gut feelings and these like things that how do I explain it? Things that we feel like we need to move towards. Things that we just find ourselves like inexplicably drawn to. I feel like with a lot of you guys, that's what that Two of Cups energy is. We had that Seven of Cups before, so having another Cups card show up, I feel as though that Two of Cups is directly related to that Seven of Cups. So some of you guys are going to be, faced with all of these decisions, all of these responsibilities that you have to sift through. And that Two of Cups, you are going to find the two cups that matter to you. You're going to come into alignment with those. As long as you are, I do sense there's this feeling of cautiousness though. So I would definitely be very cautious before you make any decisions here with those Two of Cups. I would feel as though if it's something that is not aligned with you, if you feel any sort of hesitation or any sort of like, maybe this isn't fully for me feeling, I would not go that direction. Oh, hi. Oh, my boy. This is my sweet boy. His name is Artemis. I know Artemis is supposed to be a female, but Artemis is a male dog, and he is my sweet boy. The sweetest boy. He's gonna just hang out with me here while I do cards today, because I have my door open. They like to look outside and watch the birds in the garden. And, I don't let them outside if I see the birds, like, on the ground, but they just like to watch them. So, he's gonna hang out with me here. He's just saying hi. Okay, so the next card that we have is the King of Cups. So, definitely, I feel like a lot of you guys are headed in this direction of really just like being in tune with yourself. The King of Cups is the master of his emotions. If you look, there are these, it might be hard to see. I don't know if my camera is going to get it that well, you guys. But if you look at the card, there is choppy waters underneath the King of Cups' throne there. But he is not he's not focused on the choppy waters. And in fact, it doesn't affect him. He is completely calm and aligned. The choppy waters underneath him are supposed to represent the ocean and great emotional depth. And, we have the King of Cups, Queen of Wands, King of Pentacles. You guys are really, like, in this phase of great emotional growth. In this phase of just really like coming into yourself, being aligned with yourself. I feel like there's been this great collective energy lately of people just learning how to be true to and accept themselves. There's just been this great energy of people just, you know, coming into themselves and starting to honor and connect with like their inner truth and their inner person, their inner purpose as well too. And I just feel like there's just a really good energy, a really good flow here going on. What else we got? And we have the Judgment card. Wow, so I'm not surprised to see that one show up because Judgment is all about being called to a higher purpose. If you look at these people are being called out of their graves by an angel. They're being called from the dead and rising again to come into their new life and begin this new journey. And so a lot of you guys have had this this death happen, like figuratively. Maybe some of you literally might have even had like a loved one or a family member pass away. My condolences if that's what's happened for you guys. But you've had this figurative death happen. You know, things of the past are starting to move away from you, especially with that card that we had earlier, the Ten of Swords in reverse. A lot of you guys are moving forward from this figurative death and really just like being born again, being born into this new life, your new self, aligning with your true purpose and your inner divinity, really. I mean, excuse me. We have, three court cards here. Queen of Wands, King of Pentacles, King of Cups. A lot of you guys are aligning with your inner divinity, your inner truth on such a deep level. And that Judgment card is really just, you're being divinely led on this journey. So if you've been feeling as though things need to change, if you've been feeling like you're on the precipice of this like great journey, this great new beginning, just know that, you know, you might not have all the answers right at this moment, but you are being divinely guided. You are being divinely led on this path, on this journey. We're going to pull one more card. The Hierophant. So, yes, the Hierophant is all about learning. The Hierophant is sometimes associated with like traditional ways of thinking. I feel like in this situation, the Hierophant is associated with like higher thinking and higher levels. The Hierophant is supposed to represent like a high level priest. You know, this priest has access to information. He is like a leader, a traditional, you know, leader or whatever. But he has access to higher knowledge and information. He has access directly with the divine. And he is the one, you know, the holder of all of this knowledge. He is wise and just full of this, you know, divine guidance, this divine energy. And I feel like a lot of you guys are connecting with this deep well of knowledge within you that's divinely led, divinely guided to you. Some of you might even be starting on this journey of learning knowledge, because the Hierophant is not just about, you know, holding higher knowledge, but he's also a teacher of higher knowledge. If you look at the card, there's like two like lower level priests below him there on the card. And it's supposed to represent that he's teaching these people. So some of you might even actually be in a position of teaching others. Some of you might find yourself in a position where you are being taught. For this, some of you might be having to go back to school, starting a trade program. On this new journey that you're being led on, you might have to learn some new things along the way. But I feel as though it is 100% divinely guided for you. Okay, so we got that cards. I'm going to pull from this other deck here, and we're going to just see if we have any other cards, any other information we need. I didn't even finish saying what I was saying before we had some cards. So the first card is the Knight of Cups. So yes, we had the King of Cups and now we have the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is usually like not as, you know, the King of Cups has a certain control over his emotions, you know. I wouldn't say he's detached from his emotions. The Knight of Cups almost comes with this like little bit, this little like in the back, this little like, be aware of this, but like the Knight of Cups can be a little bit less emotionally mature than the King of Cups. I think honestly for some of you here, that is just like the stage that you might find yourself at. So you might be in the Knight of Cups energy right now and not completely filled in the King of Cups energy. Either way though, the Knight of Cups being in that, you know, higher level like energy there is still like, you guys are really connecting with your emotions, your inner light, your inner truth. The Knight of Cups, the cup signs are associated with water signs, and also this deep sense of intuition, this deep sense of inner knowing. The Cups cards, they don't resist the flow of energy that's happening in their life. They go with the flow. They follow the flow. They know that, you know, wherever they're going on the way, they can't fight it. You know, they're just kind of learning to accept the direction that they're being led in. You know, and I feel like a lot of you, that is just like this feeling you're in of learning. It's like baby steps is what I'm getting. It's the baby steps of learning how to walk in the flow and move and just really relax and enjoy the ride on the way. And then the other card we had here is the Nine of Pentacles. So the Nine of Pentacles is about personal independence on like a deep level. It is abundance. Typically the Nine of Pentacles, when you have the traditional like Rider-Waite deck, which is the first deck I was using, the Nine of Pentacles usually has like a person standing in this grape field with, you know, I think there's a few pentacles, 3 on one side and 6 on the other. And it's supposed to represent that the Nine of Pentacles is so abundant that they have more than enough to give to others. And they keep some for themselves because they understand what they need. But they're in this rich place of abundance that they feel as though they can share it with others without necessarily putting themselves off in a bad place. And so I feel like a lot of you guys are in this really like independent energy where you feel as though you can share things with others. You can share your gifts and still keep this balance of keeping some for yourself. You know, you're not over giving to this point of having nothing left for yourself. You're learning how to find and toe the balance of giving to others while also keeping enough for yourself. You're not giving so much as to put yourself in a bad spot. So let's see what else we got. Boom. All right. Yeah. So we have the Five of Swords in reverse. So the Five of Swords is a card of like competition. You know, if you saw the card, it's 1 sword against 4. You know, it's like conflict almost. But with this being in the reverse, I feel as though you guys are stepping away from it. You're no longer getting caught up in this sense of, you know, fighting or, you know, conflict and urgency. You're in this place of starting to like value your peace is really what I'm feeling. You're starting to value your peace enough to be able to walk away from those situations that leave you feeling like you have to fight for your, like you have to fight for what you deserve. Like you have to fight to be heard and be seen and be valued, really. And you're starting to look at yourself and say, it doesn't matter how much other people value me, because if I value myself first, I'm going to be able to, you know, step out of situations where others are not valuing me. If I value me, that's the most important thing at the end of the day. And if I value myself enough to walk away from these situations and move into this new energy, I am going to be met with people who do value me. When I start to value me, the people around me start to change, and I start to align myself with people who also truly value me and see me for who I am and are able to meet me with what I deserve. I feel like especially with that Nine of Pentacles, you guys are really stepping into this energy of like, I'm not going to settle for less than what I deserve. I'm not going to settle for being treated, I'm not going to settle for being treated badly. I'm going to walk away from this conflict and this place where I feel like I have to fight or be on alert. I'm going to walk away so that I can walk forward into what I deserve. And this other card that came out was the Knight of Swords in reverse. So yeah, the Knight of Swords, wow, oh my gosh, I just realized we have it twice. We have the Knight of Swords in reverse in the Rider-Waite deck, and then we also had it in reverse in this other deck. So again, I really get this sense of like, do not run into things just out of a sense of urgency. Don't do things impulsively. Really sit back and take a moment to decide, what is it that I value? The Swords cards are associated with like logic, reasoning. They're associated with air signs, which is like of the mind. And so I feel like a lot of you guys, you're going to have to... I just realized all the Swords cards in this spread right now are in reverse. I feel like a message for some of you is that you're going to have to release your logical thinking for a little bit. I think sometimes we can get so caught up in thinking intellectually about a situation that we don't stop to think about how we feel emotionally. I feel as though we are in this time period of having to step away from overthinking situations and start to really learn to trust our heart, our gut, our intuition. And sometimes when your brain up here is just going, you don't have time to stop and listen to your heart. And I feel like the Knight of Swords is, again, like, with these Swords cards being in reverse, you guys are laying down your swords. You're laying down your defenses, your fighting tools. I mean, a sword is a fighting tool. You're laying down your swords, and you're not fighting anymore. You are instead valuing your peace enough to walk away from situations and flow into this energy of just, honoring yourself, honoring your heart and what you care about and what you emotionally are fulfilled by, what you are inspired by, where you are led. And when you tap into that, I really feel like when you tap into that feeling of what inspires you, what makes you feel emotionally fulfilled, you're going to step straight into that King of Pentacles energy. You're going to step into this abundance, this wealth. You're going to be so filled with just good feelings. Things are going to flow easily for you. Once you value yourself enough to step away from these situations, you're going to realize that energy there. Okay, we're almost done, you guys. We're going to go through and we're going to see if we have any of these Spirit Oracle cards to leave you with today. Woo! This reading's going really good. I think, honestly, because I'm a Gemini, ruled by Mercury, I think having Mercury in Pisces for such a long time, I think it just, screwed me up a little bit. Kind of ruined my flow, if you get what I'm saying. So, the first card we have is the Chameleon Spirit, which says, act as if. So sometimes before an energy is fully presented in our life, we have to kind of act as if it is already here. It's kind of like that saying of like, dress for the job you want, not the job that you have. It's kind of what I'm getting. So act as if the thing that you want is already here. And if you act as if it is already here, what would you do with it? How would it change your everyday? How would it change your life? Act as if it was already here and really think about, what would I do? Would I still be living the life that I was living before if I had this blessing, this new job, this new car, this new lover? Act as if it's already here and start to really ask yourself, what would it look like if it was? And how would I be acting with it? How would it change my life and my everyday? And, if you ask yourself that question, you can A, figure out if it's what you do truly want, and B, if you're acting in that energy, it makes it all the more easier for that energy to step into your life and you literally manifest it from the astral into the physical when you do that. When you act as if and align yourself with the energy of what it is that you want, it can then, and only then, bring itself into physical being. So the next one we got is the Hummingbird Spirit, which says, be here now. So, especially since we're just moving out of Pisces season into Aries season, sometimes Pisces energy has this energy of being, very dreamy. Things don't quite feel attainable or real. And so be here now. Some of you guys the last few weeks might have been feeling very out of touch with reality. You might have been feeling very uninspired and lethargic. And so the Hummingbird Spirit is a reminder to be here now. We only get one life, you guys. And if we're not living every day intentionally, it will pass by. If we are just going through the motions of life and not actually taking time to be physically present in our own lives, it'll pass by before we even know it. So be here now and, make some time to, mindfulness and meditation. I know a lot of people have a really hard time with mindfulness meditation, but there are so many other things that you can do other than just meditation to be mindful and intentional with your life. Instead of sitting on the couch or in front of YouTube dissociating for 3 hours of your evening, maybe take some time to do something more intentional. Take some time to go outside, go for a walk, and really pay attention to the things around you. We're at the start of spring, take some time to go out and look at the flowers, look at the life that is starting to pull itself out of hibernation here. Take some time to sit with your kids. If you have children, take some time to really sit with them this week and just love being around them and just really sit and, play a game with them. Maybe you play a board game. Maybe you play, a video game that they really like. Take some time to be here now and be present and express gratitude for where you are now. Sometimes we get so caught up in going to this path, going in this direction that we want to go, that we forget to be grateful for where we are. There's this saying of where I am now is what I used to pray for. And so really just sit and think about that. Where you are now is the part of your life you used to pray for. It's the thing that you used to want. And now that you have this blessing, are you taking the time to be present with it and be grateful? Or are you just setting your sights ahead on the next new goal? All right, so then we get into the Rabbit Spirit, which says now is a lucky time. So yeah, now is a lucky time. So some of you guys might be, in this spot of waiting for the thing around the corner is kind of what I'm getting. Now is a lucky time. So stuff might be happening that you might not have an explanation for. Some of you might receive a check in the mail that you weren't expecting to arrive. Some of you might be, finding out that a job that you applied to months ago calls you back and is like, hey, we love your application. Would you come in for an interview? So now is a lucky time. So really, like, open your heart and yourself to the possibilities that are around you right now. And just start to, connect. The rabbit spirit. Rabbits are considered in the traditional tarot. Rabbits are the signs of abundance. There is so it's because rabbits, they breed like rabbits is what it is. So there are things building in your life. There are things coming around and you just might not necessarily be aware of it yet. But now is a lucky time, and I feel like some of you guys are going to get something this week that just completely takes you by surprise. Completely just like blows you off your feet, and you're like, oh my gosh, I had no idea that was even possible, And it might just be small blessings here and there for you, and some of you it might be like one really big blessing, but just stay in this feeling of gratitude and personal wellness and power. And I think you'll see that stuff just kind of materializes in your life. With expressing gratitude and abundance in yourself, you attract what it is that you're expressing. And so if you feel gratitude and abundant within your everyday life, it makes it that much easier for God, Source, the universe, whatever you choose to call it, makes it that much easier for you to be blessed by the universe if you are already in this feeling of gratitude and abundance, really. So the next one we have is the Badger Spirit, which says, be fearless and bold. Especially with it being Aries season, there's a lot of bold fearlessness going on right now. Aries is associated with the ram. Aries is associated with the planet Mars. And so there's a lot of this like warrior energy of facing your goals and knowing that you will conquer them. So be fearless and bold. Take those risks. And with the Rabbit Spirit, now is a lucky time. If you take those risks, you might be divinely rewarded. If you're being led in this direction and you're just kind of like, I don't really, if you're being led in a direction that scares you a little bit, be fearless and bold. Take that risk and see where it leads you. Then we have the Electric Eel Spirit, which says, bring your ideas to life. Beautiful. So, bring your ideas to life. We had the Chameleon Spirit, which was act as if. So, you might have been filled with these ideas. They might have seemed like weird crack shot ideas of like, never in a million years would this happen to me. But I feel like the more that you bring your ideas to life, I think an idea, if it scares you a little bit, is a good idea. To a degree, okay? Still use discernment and be cautious and careful. Don't go and spend, all of your money on lottery tickets. But like, if you've been feeling pulled in this direction and you're saying like, I don't really know if I should open my own business. Like, I don't really know if I have what it takes. But if it's something that you've been thinking about that's been on your heart, bring your idea to life. Start trying to move in that direction. Act as if. And be fearless and bold. And start to, kind of toe the waters a little bit and see, where would this thing take me? Where could this thing take me? And then we have the Eagle Spirit, which says, Spirit has your back. Wow. So yes, Spirit has your back. I feel as though if you've been thinking about something lately, if you've been thinking about starting a business, if you've been thinking about, getting into this relationship that you just feel so drawn to, if you've been thinking of pursuing this dream of yours that you've had for some time that you just haven't, quite had the what you feel as though is the right moment to start on it, I want to tell you there will never be a right moment to start something. There is no time that is given, that is promised to us. We only have today. We only have what we are doing right now, in this very moment. And so don't wait for the perfect time. Don't wait. Act as if. Bring your ideas to life. Be fearless and bold. And you're being led in this direction for a reason. You know, maybe you have a gift that you feel as though you have to share with the world, that you're feeling very like, that's what you're passionate about, that's what you love, that's what you want to do. You know, Spirit wouldn't put that dream in your heart if it wasn't something you were meant to do. If it wasn't something you weren't meant to do. If you're feeling pulled in this direction, I really encourage you to just take the leap. Just go for it. Just, you know, see where it can take you, because Spirit has your back. And I feel as though if you just take the time to, you know, take the leap of faith, if you just go in that direction a little bit, I think you will be led somewhere that is beyond your wildest dreams. So, oh my goodness, you guys, this has been an incredible, beautiful reading. I really feel as though for a lot of you, this is going to kind of get you in that space of like, yeah, I can do this. And that's what I'm here for. That's what I want to do. That's what I want. I want you guys to leave here feeling inspired and ready to tackle your life and things going on. I feel like this is a very clear message for those of you watching this that, you know, it's time to stop getting so caught up in the logistics in your brain and start to really follow your heart and follow what lights you up inside, you know? And yeah, so I really, really love this reading. So thank you for being here with me today. Thanks for joining me for my morning coffee and read with you guys. And I hope you have a good day, and if no one's told you, I love you guys.